Uh, what did you wish you knew or learned before starting in this field?
I bet when I first started in 1993 with the 93 with the Bay Sox, I don't think facility management was big back then as it is right now. You see a lot of universities, holding majors in stadium management or facility management, and you guys nowadays have all that luxury to getting that experience in the classroom. But what you learn in the classroom and what you learn in the field are two different things. Getting out in the field and experience, dealing with, leaks in the building, cracks in the concrete, broken seats, 2 hours before gates open, pipes bust. That's the real deal. You're not going to learn that in the classroom. Having 23 inches of snow 2 days before a football game and shoveling the snow out of the stadium. That's the real life right there, is trying to get it done. And, that's what we're here for.
I'm not sure there's anything I wish I knew or learned. There's so much you learn along the way. Obviously, everything I know now I wish I knew in the beginning, but I think we all say that. But I think there are more opportunities now than there were when I was, or at least I'm more aware of those opportunities. I'm pretty sure, I've thought about this often, I'm pretty sure I'd be doing what I'm currently doing. I love coming to work every day. In fact, I don't work, I tell people I don't work because it is fun working with the athletic teams, working with the outside public, working with the community, and just being engaging here, whether it's here in Richmond, Virginia, or back in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
So before I started working in the field, it was my first job out of school, and I think if there's one thing I was lacking is the broad perspective. I think the sports management as a field is much different now than it was 15 plus years ago. So I think what I wish I knew, and I think any new employee coming in can help themselves by, again, understanding that broad base of how the business works, not just in your area, but those throughout the business. Take on a challenge to get exposed to a new area. Put yourself in a position that you're not entirely comfortable with, because I do think that's going to help you achieve those higher levels.
I don't know that I would have done a lot differently. I certainly don't have any regrets about any of the path that I took to get to where I am. What would I do differently? I guess it's just important to understand that sports as a business is different than sports as a fan. And though I always knew that, I don't know that it really drove itself home until you start working in sports. And I think it's important for each of you to make that distinction, knowing that coming to work in the sports environment is not coming from a fan's perspective. You can still be a fan, and we are. We're very much fans, but at the same time, it is a business and it is a profession, and you need to be mindful of those facts. And your outlook, perhaps changes a little bit.
I would definitely say it may be, or it may seem glamorous that sports is a cool product, there's players, there's big names, things like that. It's still hard work and it's a lot of hours, and it's a lifestyle. So not that the job necessarily, I would say, this would definitely make it easier, but just understanding that if you decide to work in sports, it's a lifestyle. It's something that you're committing yourself to. So there have been graduation parties, birthdays, weddings that I have missed or not attended because we had a game or we had an event that I had to be present at. You figure it out once you work here, but there's an adjustment period of trying to learn the work-life balance, if there is such a thing. But yeah, I definitely think, getting into sports, it's not a 9-to-5 thing by any means. Soccer, we're a little more fortunate in that we have 2 home games, sometimes 3 a month, and start to finish the game is 2 hours, whereas if you're working in baseball, it's a 12-game homestand, you could have a 2-hour rain delay, you could be there 18 hours a day. So I guess the pearl of wisdom is just understanding what you're getting yourself into.